And welcome back to another episode of Virtually Real. This is episode 2, and I am once again joined by Arne and Ben. And
we're back!
And very uncommonly, they are in the same room. I'm having a deja vu moment, because we're doing this a lot of times.
Yeah, third time but now, I think.
Third time.
Difficulties and all that.
Yes, we tried to record an episode last week, so the things we talk about might be a little dated. And we actually tried to record one about 5 minutes ago, but then the internet went no.
That's it.
Yeah,
It's a bad omen.
it just didn't agree.
So we have to do this really quickly.
Go!
Go.
Before something else happens.
So first of all, let me start with housekeeping. Wow, we're really quick into this section right now. So housekeeping. I've some people may have noticed I've done some rebranding of the channel. I've made a new logo, made some new channel art. I've actually generally just about everywhere I managed the RandomiteStudios channel. I made a Twitch account. I've got well, I was on Twitter already. I made a Facebook page. Not that it's going to be that popular yet. It's got 2 likes. Arne and me. But
Guess who they came from?
but we'll see. We'll see what happens with that later on. So now about the channel, videos that have been uploaded. First of all, one noticeable series that we might do, and we probably will do, is Kerbal Space Program with friends. We did the first episode of that, which is basically where we do challenges, and we try to complete those challenges. Well, basically in this episode it was Arne playing Kerbal Space Program, and Ben and I were watching, we're commentating, and
Commenting on my total ineptitude.
criticizing, and well, basically the first challenge that we did was went to the moon, or the moon with internal view only, and that was actually a blast to record and to watch.
To say the least.
It was a blast
It
off.
was a blast off. Oh, lame puns. But yeah, that was a really fun thing to do, and we're probably going to do that some more. We just have to see with scheduling and availability and all that.
Busy.
Then also, City Construction Challenge, the main Minecraft series, is still going on. Last week, when we actually recorded the first try of this episode, I uploaded another episode where I basically get into stage 3 finally.
At long last.
Which basically means I can now use iron tools, which is going to be a whole lot better to...
I am slightly impressed that you've built that much with only stone tools.
Yeah, it's just basically stone and wood were the items I could use, even in building and stuff. But now it's gonna be good, because now I can make shears, so I can make bushes and plants. And yes!
Hedge mazes
Things are
ahoy!
looking up.
Hedge maze. Oh, that's a good idea. So, between this episode and the last episode, we were talking about, well, in the previous episode of Virtually Real, we were talking about doing some skyblock. I don't know if we're still going to do that.
I'm still up for it.
Yeah, I would be up for it as well if we could find the time.
The 3 of us on a teeny tiny island suspended miles above the ground. That sounds like a good plan.
Yes, it sounds like a really good plan.
Yes, I think there will be lots of falling.
Lots of falling. So yeah, we might do that in future. But right now, I believe the server is still down, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't put it back up yet.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. We've got KSP, probably that we're going to do sort of regularly. Maybe.
Probably start with that first.
Yeah.
Or start with one thing first.
And also, something we could also easily do is Left 4 Dead 2, which we talked about in the previous episode. Yeah. Because that's really easy to record. Just, well, basically, with Fraps, it's really easy. Even on my crappy laptop, it records quite smoothly. And so if we just record all 3 perspectives and we switch between them, that would be... that
would work out pretty fine.
And, like, a map takes about, half an hour or something, so that could be an episode, or maybe even 2 episodes for one map, so wouldn't be that troublesome. So I think that's about it for the housekeeping section. I don't think I have anything else to talk about, no.
That's a clean thing.
Good. Let's go on to the gaming then. First of all, a thing I saw recently, and I say recently because that was last week that I saw that recently, but it's still pretty cool. Sethbling made or recreated the Tron light cycle battle in Minecraft, and it looks really awesome. It's basically you ride on a horse that's inside of a minecart, and behind you glass panes appear, and when you crash into a glass pane, you die. Basically, it's a Tron light cycle battle.
It's cool, we swear. It has horses in it.
It has horses. But it's really, if you look at it, it looks really fun to play. And I was thinking about maybe we could do some sort of mini games as well, like maybe on minigame servers even. Doesn't necessarily have to be downloaded and put on the server, but just on
sounds like pretty
survival games, possibly. We did that a long while ago.
Yes,
teaming with in survival games. It's really, after a while, it really gets you get a bit overpowered if you got a team of 3 people. But that's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. It's a power fantasy.
So yeah, basically that Tron light cycle minigame could not have been done with a recent adding of new commands and command block thingies. It's all technical mumbo jumbo, which I am not going to explain. You should watch the video; he explains it himself. Link will be in the description, obviously, and probably to everything we talk about that's even mildly relevant to anything. I don't know. So I think I don't have all that much to say anymore about Minecraft. So let's continue to other games. Now I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to let someone else talk. Arna, I see you played some Banished a while ago. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yes, I have been playing a bit of Banished. Banished is a game that has only rather recently come out on Steam, at least. I don't know about other releases. But it is a town-building simulator that has no combat in it whatsoever. The only thing you need to do is survive, and that is deceptively difficult. Because people eat things and people freeze if they don't have coats. And there's so many things, because then they make children and those children can't work, but they still need to eat. So they're just a drain on your food, and oh my god. But it's fun. I swear. Sounds fun.
Sounds really fun.
I haven't suffered a heart attack yet, so I guess it's fine.
Yes. Okay,
no,
that's good.
It's quite nice. It's a nice change of pace, because I like RDSs, but sometimes I can really get into the mood of, I don't want to fight things, I just want to build stuff. And then that is really nice, because it's still on that scale of most RDSs, whereas, for example, a game like SimCity is such a big scale, that is a completely different thing, I feel. So, but yeah, Banished... Go look at it. Go play it.
Is it early access alpha, or is it actually a release?
I think it's actually a release.
Okay. I was thinking about alpha, but
I'm pretty certain it's actually done.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Ben, I see you wrote down Rome 2. Lots of that.
Yes, indeed. I have been playing lots of that. In total, 376 hours as of this podcast,
Wow,
which is a lot.
that is quite a lot.
And I know the game had some pretty major issues upon release. A lot of those have been patched out. It still has quite a few issues and DLC related outrage,
Tomfoolery.
yeah, lots of things. But at its heart, it's a very it's a good game, and I find it very amusing. It's also very nice to play with a friend, which is where most of my hours came from.
Yeah, I think
For those of you that don't know any of the Total War games, it's a combination between turn-based strategy and RTS,
so.
where you build your empire on the turn-based map, and then you fight the battles in real time.
That's actually a pretty cool system. Actually, yeah, it's
It's pretty clever.
really
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. You've also been playing some DayZ, and I see you've been playing that for also a very long time, even this week.
Yeah, I play too many video games, apparently. Some people tell me that.
Some would argue.
But you were talking when we first tried to record this podcast, this episode. You were saying you hated it. You couldn't find a can opener to open.
Yeah, well, actually, the game is pretty annoying at times. It's fun, but it's still very much an alpha, and that there are lots of things that can happen. You can glitch through walls. You can glitch through walls on the 10th floor and fall to your death, which is really annoying because
Wow.
it has character permadeath, which means that all your items are gone,
Oh, that sucks.
and you'll have to start over again with nothing but a flashlight and the clothes on your back. So, yeah, that can be pretty annoying. And what can also be annoying is not being able to find something to open your damned cans of food with.
I
also,
can
zombies can walk through doors.
Yeah, and also the zombies don't give a damn if you're in a house or not and close the doors. They'll just come right through the wall.
Come right.
Oh, but
through.
don't you say? Nay, I say.
Oh,
Nevertheless, for an alpha, it is still a pretty nice experience, though please do take into account, developers also say this, please do take into account, it is still very much an alpha and lots of things can go wrong, and expect lots of things will go wrong as well.
yeah, it's good that they put a disclaimer there because if you're actually trying, well, I guess you want to enjoy it, but you know, if zombies glitch through walls and you can glitch through floors, that might not be the best experience, and you might not come back to it. But it's good they have a disclaimer that says, warning, this is not a complete game. Let's see, we've also been playing some Age of Empires 2 occasionally.
Yes.
Which we still horribly lose at against Ben.
Yeah, the Mongols, eh?
The Mongols.
Mango die, mango die, mango die. All of the mango die. And then you die.
Yeah, it's basically that's Ben's technique. He plays as the Mongols, and is it the Castle Age? You get Mangudai,
Yes.
and then he just spams millions and millions of Mangudais, and then he just attacks you with only that. And that's it. And it's
fair enough because it works.
It works. It's a very good tactic. Maybe
It works way too well.
Maybe we should try to all play as the Mongols and see who's the fastest to get to Mangudai. It will still probably be Ben, but we could try that. And we might even try to record that. We've been talking about that also.
For your enjoyment.
The things I have been playing, basically I've put down Hearthstone, but that's also been a while ago since I've played that. But it's still an enjoyable game if I see it. If I feel like playing a match doesn't really take that long. It's basically Hearthstone is a card game from the makers of World of Warcraft. It's from Blizzard. It's basically a card game with the characters from World of Warcraft, and you have to battle. What is it? It's not a boss. It is a
hero.
Hero. That's the one. And you have the different classes like you have in World of Warcraft. You have mages, hunters, all that stuff, and you basically have to beat the other guy, you each have 30 health, and then you have a deck of 30 cards, I think. Yeah, 30. Yep. And basically each card costs a certain amount of mana points, and each turn, because it's turn-based, each turn you get an extra mana point or a mana crystal that you can use to either save up to get a good card, to place a good card, or just spam low-level cards. And so those are your minions who actually protect you, and they all have their separate abilities. And it's a really fun game. It's very addicting, especially in the beginning, because obviously you can pay to get more cards and better cards, but that really it doesn't. You don't have to pay. You can easily play it without paying anything. Because if you play matches, you gain coins. If you complete quests, there are daily quests, you get in-game coins. And once you've got 100 coins, you get there quite quickly. Once you get 100 coins, you can buy a pack of cards which has 5 cards, so you can expand your inventory some more. But it's a really fun game.
Quite enjoyable, yes.
Yes, Arne has also been playing a bit. We've been also playing some matches against each other. I was thinking about maybe recording that as well.
Yeah, that could be pretty fun.
Could be quite enjoyable. Then also, I've been playing some Reus. I'm gonna pronounce it Reus.
Reus, yes, Reus.
Reus. It's a Dutch game. It's made by Abbey Games. It's a Dutch company. Basically, the title means giant in Dutch. So I'm a bit two-sided on that, how to pronounce it. Many people call it Reus because that's like an English pronunciation, but it's actually Reus. What it is it's a god game where you control 4 ancient giants that control the nature on a planet. And basically you have to sustain the villages, and you have to let them grow, and you have to complete certain challenges. And that's actually the basic premise of the game, is you have to complete the challenges in order to unlock more abilities, in order to complete more difficult challenges. And that's actually I say that's actually the entire game, but it's quite a lengthy game.
Oh. An important aspect of the game is that, well, you place down resources in the world. That is mainly what you do. You place down, for example, minerals, or you put a patch of blueberries, or you place a flock of birds down, or fish, or something for the people to eat and to mine, and stuff like that. The cool thing is that depending on what resources you put next to what others, they can give bonuses. For example, I think one of them is if you put a blueberry bush next to a strawberry bush, they both give more food. Mm-hmm. So it becomes a question of, how do I arrange these things in order to suit the needs of this village? Because this village might say, oh, we're going to build a granary. That means that we need this much food to complete it. And then just placing down a bunch of animals is not going to cut it. You'll have to start arranging them in such a way that they give bonuses to each other. And that's really clever. It's really difficult, though.
Yeah, that's the difficult part, indeed. You have to find the perfect configuration in order to keep that village happy. Because if you place way too much resources down, and they can't handle the growth of that resource, they might get greedy, and they might attack other villages or attack your giants, and that's a problem. You shouldn't let that happen.
Yeah, you should kill the villagers when they.
Yeah, then you can just throw a monk bomb at them.
You can actually just use an earthquake on the village, and bye village. That's also something. There's a certain challenge. There's a building that needs building. It's the mad scientist building, which requires another village to be destroyed. So you have to really think about, am I going to destroy this village in order to complete this challenge, or am I not? It's really sometimes it's really difficult.
I haven't even gotten there yet. Wow.
Yeah, I haven't unlocked all that much either. I need to have one more achievement unlocked or one more challenge unlocked in order to get to the next stage, because now I can only play sessions of half an hour, and the more challenges you unlock, the longer your gameplay time is. So the basic one is half an hour, then it's an hour, and then it's a game of 2 hours.
I think I might have gotten to the 1 hour games yet, but I haven't played them yet because they're always a bit too long for me.
Half an hour is actually the perfect amount of time, but
Half an hour is really nice, yeah.
in half an hour you can't really do that many challenges or that many upgrades of buildings and such. So
No, that is true.
you have to work quite quickly in that half an hour to gain those things.
It's just the half hour mark. That's the last thing I will say. It's just that around the half hour mark, everything just seems to go wrong for me. That's where I start not being able to meet the demands, and then everyone gets mad at me.
I've only had once that people got mad at me, so that's quite good. But I was in the first few games. I was just neglecting the greed part. I was like, spam the resources. Oh wait,
there's a war again.
You shouldn't let it grow that fast. Oh. So yeah, that's Reus,
yes,
whatever you want to call it. It's a really fun game, and you should really buy it. It's not that much. It's like 10 euros, $10.
Or your regional equivalent.
It's cheap. It's fun. It's an indie game. There we go.
Yes.
That should be enough said. Also, another thing I've been playing, which is not on the PC but on the Wii, I've been playing Super Mario Galaxy. I forgot how good that game was. It's been a long time.
Actually played that.
What did you say?
I've never actually played Super Mario Galaxy, and I have had a Wii.
Oh.
Used to have a Wii. I think I played it at my cousin's place once. It looked pretty cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah,
I will say that.
It looks really. It is the graphics are outdated. You can see that. At the time, I think the game is from 2007. At the time I bought it, it was like, whoa, look at that, 3D planets and flying, but now it's like, oh, that's how it looked.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, but it's still a good heap of nostalgia.
I wouldn't know though. I think in a distant past I held a Wiimote once, but that's about as close as I got to ever.
I played bowling.
Getting engaged in Wii games because no.
I had a Wii. It was okay. There wasn't that many. I don't think there was that many good games for it. But that's a console argument I'm not going to get into.
Yeah, there were a couple of good games, but they're usually most of them. I mean, in my opinion, they're from Nintendo. The Metroid series, Metroid Prime trilogy.
Metroid Prime 3 was amazing. That is true.
The entire trilogy was amazing. There was Metroid Other M, the most recent one.
That one apparently wasn't any good.
Well, I thought it was good. So, opinions.
I held a Wiimote once, so I really can't comment or complain about any of that. So
there was also
is invalid.
There was also Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I have, which has Yoshi in it. You can ride Yoshi and fly on his back through space. But there were a couple of good games. Not all of them were that good. But there were good games. Talking about good games, segue. I've been playing some Ocarina of Time as well, Legend of Zelda. Those games are always good. And Ocarina of Time is a classic. It's a good one.
Are you playing pre-release or the OG Ocarina of Time?
It's the Ocarina of Time version I have is the GameCube version that came with the Wind Waker release. So we had
Then that's like the re-release.
Yeah, it was when Wind Waker was released, there was a special edition that included Ocarina of Time, which has the normal one and the Master Quest Ocarina of Time.
Not bad.
I've also got Ocarina of Time 3D for the 3DS. It's the same game, obviously, but they change a bit with the dual screens. The map is on the bottom side, quick item selection, so you don't have to go in start menu and such. There are a couple of improvements in the 3DS version, but nothing beats the good old classic polygon counting.
OOT.
No, how many versions? Versions.
How many versions?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
never mind.
Versions, yes.
My argument fell flat the moment I started talking about virgins. Never mind.
No, what was I gonna ask?
I was gonna say, how many versions
Yeah.
of one game do you actually have?
Let's see. I think only Ocarina of Time has around 3, maybe 4 versions. Like the original one for the Nintendo 64. You have the GameCube one, which was with, well, if you count GameCube one, only GameCube. And then you have 3DS. And then you could say the virtual console on the Wii also in the...
Yeah, though that was
in the shop.
technically kind of the same game.
Yeah, that's
As the original N64 version.
It's basically, you can say it's a ROM that plays on the
It's
Wii.
essentially an emulation of the old game, so
Which is still kind of...
Yeah.
it's technically a different version, yes. But
So, yes, that's what I have been playing. And I think... Do you guys have anything else to add to this?
no, we came to the bottom of the list
It's
again.
the bottom of the list.
No, I believe I can't sink any lower than what just happened. That was pretty much the lowest point here in the
Lowest
entire.
point. Good. Then
There you have it, folks.
I think we can... Oh, wait. No, I want to mention this. I tried mentioning... Well, I mentioned it last week as well. When we first tried recording this episode. Twitch plays Pokemon. It's still going on. Basically, if you don't know what it is, which would be very weird, Twitch plays Pokemon is basically an emulator of Pokemon Red, in the case of last week, where you can input the commands, like up, down, left, right, A, B, start, select. You can put it in the chat, and then the command gets run, and then there's chaos. And it was around 70,000 viewers every time. Well, that's a bit much. Maybe that was at its peak, but around 60,000, let's say, all trying to play the game at the same time.
Imagine like 10 8-year-olds trying to grab a Game Boy and just pressing random buttons and trying to play the game all at once. And then multiply that by a good factor of 1,000, and you have an idea of what Twitch Plays Pokemon is like.
Indeed.
It's beautiful, and yet they managed to beat the game.
They beat the game, indeed. In 18 days, give or take around that number, they actually finished the game, which is really surprising. I didn't see the end game, too bad. I did manage to see some amazing highlights. But, yeah, they finished the game. And guess what they're playing now? Pokemon Crystal.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're just gonna go through every generation, I think. Which
Okay.
basically, it's easy to do. It's just input a command still. But once they get to the DS versions, there's gonna be an X and Y function.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I don't want to know what's gonna happen with that.
What are they gonna do with the touchpad?
Touchpad. Well, I don't think you don't have to use the touchpad because you have.
No, you can do that with the directional buttons, that's true.
And also the fights usually use the touchpad, but you can also use the buttons to select select options. So it should be possible with only button presses. But we'll see what that mistakes. But now the excitement has lowered a bit because you don't see anything anymore on Reddit about Pokemon Crystal. It was mainly just because it was the first generation, I think, that got all the hype up.
Novelty.
Yeah. So that's Twitch Plays Pokemon. I'll put a link in the description. They're probably playing right now still. They're always playing. So
go and watch them and laugh at them.
Laugh at them.
Or alternatively, play along and let us laugh at you.
Type start a couple of times. Just to troll people.
There is no faster way to generate hate on your person than to just start typing start in that game.
Yeah. Good.
You'll get called a faggot lots of times.
Possibly. Good. I think, yeah, that being said, let us wrap this episode up. Good. Yes, thank you so much for watching / listening, because I don't think there's all that much watching. Just some gameplay footage we recorded. But yeah, thank you for listening to this podcast. And of course, once again, thank you guys for joining me on this podcast.
The pleasure was ours.
Indeed.
And yes, we hope to see you guys in the next episode, which hopefully will be somewhere this month. Stay tuned. See you next time.
Goodbye.
Ta-ta!